Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, as you can see, the sun's out today, we've got some blue sky, so when I was offered a cheap Saab convertible about an hour ago, I couldn't really say no. I'm a big fan of the Saab brand in general. I've said this in previous videos, but it's a real shame that they've gone bust. They just offered something that nobody else did, and nobody else has done since. It's a bit of an unusual one, so it is a pity they're no longer around. Now this cheap convertible 9.3, like I say, I've paid just £1,250 for it. I do know a little bit about it. I've had quite a nice description of it. It sounds like it's in good order, but at the end of the day, it's still a very old car and it's done nearly 100,000 miles, so I've got to be realistic. I'm going to set the bar nice and low, I think. That way you can't be disappointed. That's probably not a bad outlook on life, is it? Don't expect anything, and then, if something does happen, you've had a result. Right, let's get my shades on then. I'll see you there. Well, we're here. It's quite a good colour, actually. What else can I tell you about it? I think that's a Vector model. Now, forgive me, it's been a while since I bought one of these, but they used to do the Linear, which was base spec, then the Vector, middle of the road, then the Aero. And I think they're Vector wheels. I don't know whether this is petrol or diesel. You're probably thinking, why didn't you ask all these questions before I agreed to buy it? But, let me let you in on a little secret. My life's quite dull, quite repetitive. So this is about the only excitement I get. Buying something blind and then trying to work out whether it's any good or not. That looks all right though, you know. It's a London car originally, LY06. Right then, let's do a car vertical vehicle history check and find out a little bit more about it. So as always, it's really easy to use. All you do is go to carvertical.com, type in the VIN or the reg. Now in this case, we know it is Lima Yankee 06 Foxtrot X-Ray Romeo, check vehicle. Now it's really important that you're doing these checks before you hand over any money for a used car or motorbike. You can save yourself 20% off each and every check that you do if you use my promo code HIGHPEAK. That's HIGHPEAK all one word, or alternatively, click the link below in the video description. But this will tell us whether it's ever been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has outstanding finance on it. I underestimated the weather today when I put this hoodie on. What's good about this as well is it's a really thorough check. It isn't just a UK thing, so it checks databases in dozens of countries. It checks hundreds of millions of cars. Right, and the report's ready. So this is a Saab 9.3 petrol. Petrol, see? How exciting. Be dull otherwise. It's never been clocked, no outstanding finance, there's no recorded damage, and it's never been stolen, so that's good. Right, I was told it had done around 100,000 miles. At its last MOT, which was January this year, it had done 90. And it's done about 3,000 miles a year, so that's pretty good. And don't forget now, this is an 18-year-old car. Time flies, doesn't it? 18 years old on an 06. It's manual, which is a pity. I'd rather it was automatic, to be honest. But can't have everything, can you, for £1,250? Let's go down to the most recent MOT then. So it failed in 21 on a heap of stuff, actually, right? Oh, it's had a reg plate change. Oh, okay. So the last owner then has only had it for about a year. Okay. Right. Let's go and have a look around it then. Make sure the roof works and all that sort of stuff. You'll have to excuse this alarm. There's an alarm ringing from one of these buildings. Hope it's not my office. Anyway, right, back to the Saab. We've got 2 keys, which is always a good sign. And these always break. They kind of disintegrate usually, but they're in good order. So I suspect they've been replaced at some point. Yeah, that alarm's loud, isn't it? But it does look quite good. It doesn't look as good as an Aero, granted, but it's not bad, is it? Not a bad colour either. So we've got a Hankook tyre on this side with about 4mm of tread. That's decent. Brake discs look a little bit ropey, as do the backing plates actually. What about this side then? We've got a Ventus V12 Evo. Not sure who makes that. Oh, it's Hankook as well, right? There we go. I was being all sarcastic and I was wrong. That's on about 3mm, so not too bad. These usually always corrode and oxidise, but they're all right. Another common issue is the wipers. The arms can snap. We've got some awful touch-ins there. You could do with a set of plates. The badges always fade, but that's been replaced at some point. So far, all the little common issues aren't there. A little bit of scabbiness there, a little bit of a blister. We've got another Hankook on this side on about 3mm, I suppose. Quite straight on the panels, isn't it? That's all pretty good. The other tyre then is a matching Hankook. Right, well that's a decent brand, so someone's looked after this. The roof's in good order, could do with a good clean, but it's not ripped or frayed or torn, that's good going. I quite like these, as I've said. A little bit of condensation in the lights there, but that just could be the weather today. 2 litre turbo. We've got odd plates, which I never like. It tells me that the front one was either cracked or, you know, bumped into something else. Oh, well, the remote locking works, that's a good start. Look at those seats. That's what I like about Saab. The most comfortable seats. Someone's patched this up, I think in the dark, because that's not a neat job. It is a Vector, there we go. Let's get in where it's a little bit quieter. It's been years since I've been in one of these, you know. I think the last one I bought was a Cerulean edition. That was diesel, and I bought it from a mate of mine's colleague. It's a really nice car. In fact, I did a video, I think I did a review with it. It was a couple of years ago now. They're just quirky, aren't they? And I like them. Of course, you've got the night panel button here. I'll tell you what, let's fire this up. So it's only done 90,000 miles, 90,800. Got plenty of fuel. Could do with a run, I suppose. Does my air conditioning work? I'll tell you what, we'll turn that down for now. This is another issue with Saabs, and this one seems to be all right. Turn the radio off, hang on. There we go. All these buttons tend to just wear away. So you see all the ugly white plastic underneath, but this is all in good order. But let's do the roof then. Making all the right noises. But will anything happen? Making lots of noise. I would say that has been a success. Well, I'll tell you what, for $12.50, be a decent little summer cruiser, wouldn't it, this? I like it, straight away. What else can I tell you then? So under here we've got an auxiliary point. Not many people know that, I suppose. It's a fun fact. You've got another cup holder here which drops down. I know the fit and finish of everything is a bit cheap. It's a little bit Vauxhall-y, isn't it? But overall, I think you've got to forgive it that. In the glove box, what have we got here then? We've got a service book. Now we're talking. I see some history. We're off to a good start. Right. That was done in 2008, 2009, 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17. This is all pretty good. 18, 19, 21. 20 was COVID, obviously. 22. And then 23 and 24. Look at that. So I had a service and an MOT in January in a place called Kirk Levington. I don't know where that is. Somebody could educate me, I'm sure. Is TS Tyneside? I don't know, forgive me if I've got that wrong, I don't know. I think it could well be. That's pretty good going though, that, isn't it? I've noticed one little fault. The display isn't working on this, is it? So I can't see where it should be. Anyway, it's neither here nor there, is it? Let's have a look under the bonnet, shall we? In fact, let's have a look in the boot, see if we've got any treasure, any part exchange gold. Because that really is why you watch these videos, isn't it? I know it, you know it. No, I would say, unfortunately, there is no gold here, guys. No gold. I've tried digging, but to no avail. I was thinking I was in a Peugeot then. Try the other side. There we go. Pop that. What have we here then? My gas strut works fine, so that's good. The old 2 litre turbo. Quite a good engine, these, you know. They were quite good. And quick enough, really, for a front wheel drive car like this, as I hope to demonstrate to you shortly. Well, all I'm checking for here, because the sun's very bright, is any signs of accident damage, and I can't see any. Can't see any. I'm also looking for any obvious leaks, and I can't see any of those either. Should we take this for a spin then, while it's still sunny? Sounds like a plan, doesn't it? Right then, let's get this show on the road. We've got no heated seats, not that I need them today. Just noticed 2 blank buttons. Straight away though, I can't tell you how comfortable this seat is. They just had a way, Saab, of making the most comfortable seats. Steering's nice and light, it's not worn. No funny noises, it's a little bit soft on the suspension, but then I think they all were. They were never really a driver's car, were they, these? I think I'll pop these windows up just so you can't hear a load of road noise, wind noise, whatever it is. Do we have a CD? Nope. I'd have rather this was auto, as I said, but I suppose for a fun little summer toy, maybe a manual's more fun. So far, so good. Go on then, I'll let you go. And you then. Yeah, it's free for all. I'm quite pleased with this for $12.50, and without sounding like a typical car dealer, there's not an awful lot to do, is there? It's had a service, it's had an MOT recently. I can't see where I'm going to get a big bill from. There just isn't an awful lot to do to this one, is there? I think send it for a proper valet, take it over to Tameside. What else? How else can I spend some more money on this? It's worrying me, this, and I don't like it. I think this time of year, if I were to advertise this at $2,495, I think it would sell quite quickly. I'm just about to say my air conditioning is not working, but I noticed my AC off button was depressed. And we're away. They even sound nice. It's only a 4-cylinder engine, but when the turbo kicks in, it's just quite addictive. Of course, you get the little turbo gauge as well. Is it pulling slightly? I think it's pulling to the right ever so slightly, so I could get that sorted. It's quite a decent car though, this. What am I going to do with it? What do I do? Of course, I'm tempted to keep it, as I am with everything. Everything quirky and interesting. This could have quite easily been far worse. I was thinking for £1,250, an 18-year-old Saab done 100. I thought, it's going to be a bit scruffy, isn't it? And this isn't. It's got decent tyres, decent history, and not an awful lot to do. I will, of course, swap the reg plates because they don't match. Thought that noise was me, but it was a train going overhead. Don't panic. It even looks quite cool, without sounding shallow. I've just seen my reflection in a shop window and it looks all right. The car, that is, not me. My scruffy hoodie. Just trying to leave a bit of a gap here so I can sting it and see how this turbo kicks in. That's plenty quick enough, you know. Turbo works perfectly well. They are a bit floppy and soft, but it's what you expect, isn't it, on a Saab convertible? Gearbox feels quite strong and precise. Clutch is all right. This is a half decent car, this. Oh yes. Right, well I think ordinarily I would say let's take this down to my mechanics now and crack on with the work, but it doesn't really need any, so I think change of plan today, change of tack. We'll go to Tameside, let them valet it properly, detail it properly, clean the engine bay, all that sort of stuff, show some attention to the roof and get it looking right. In the meantime, I'll order some plates from Harrods and get on with the work. I might treat it to a fresh set of mats, actually. This is the kind of thing, a bit like the Z4 that I filmed with recently. It's the kind of thing that people ask me for. Not, you know, customers, I mean mates of mine. Have you got anything like fun and interesting that I can use for the summer? I certainly do. I think then, guys, that's about enough fun and excitement for one day. I'm going to head to the valeters and I'll see you later on. And we're back in the cheap Saab convertible. It's now sold for profit and I didn't massively overspend. Yes, that's right. You heard me correctly. You are on the right channel. This is High Peak Autos. And on this occasion, I've got a cheesy grin on my face because I've done all right. I know as well as you do though, the only reason I've done well with this one is because it was pretty good to begin with. It was quite a nice clean example and it didn't need an awful lot doing. After we last spoke, I dropped it off for a full valet. Now, it was quite clean anyway, but the roof was a bit of a state. It was full of green stuff and just needed a good clean, as did the engine bay. So I've had that all detailed and it now looks really good. I think we can all agree that's £70 well spent. Then what did I do? Oh yes, a fresh set of plates. Now I always bang on about this, but it makes such a big difference. Replacing your old tatty worn number plates with some fresh ones just instantly lifts the car. And it has done with this 18-year-old Saab. I fitted them myself, you know. And that's about it. And then had a brainwave, had a light bulb moment. I remembered I'd got a friend who I know likes Saabs. And sometimes that's all it takes. All you've got to do is just dangle a carrot and they bite. Other times, sadly, it's not so easy. You can try absolutely everything and you still don't get the result you want. And then you've got to just sit back and wait for fate to play a part. But anyway, on this occasion, dangling this little Swedish carrot worked. All I did was WhatsApp a photograph of this with its roof down looking all cool. And about 30 seconds later, not that he looked desperate or anything, about 30 seconds later I got a reply saying, how much? So I thought, right, what's fair? So I settled on £1,750, £1,750, which I thought is a dead fair price, to be honest. It's a nice, decent car, this. And at £1,750, bear in mind I paid £1,250 for it and haven't spent an awful lot, it gives me a decent return. Now normally at this stage of the video I'd park up somewhere scenic and talk you through my eye-watering bills, but on this occasion there aren't any. We are in new territory, ladies and gents, so I think, given that I got a B at GCSE Maths, I think I'll be able to do the mental arithmetic on the move. Now, bear with me, I paid £1,250 for the car, I spent £70 on a full valet, I spent £15 on some new number plates, that takes my total to, I'm just kidding, £1,335. So £1,750 less £1,335 is £415 profit. Without wishing to sound smug, that's not bad, is it, for an hour's work? Hasn't really taken me an awful long time, but I was quite lucky on this occasion. I'll be the first to admit it. So I think that's about it. I'm going to go and drop this back off at the garage and let her know that it's ready to collect. So thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Don't forget TikTok. I'll leave the links below. What else? Forget the ending sometimes. You know the ending. You've seen enough of these videos. Cheers, guys. Adios. That's reverse, isn't it? You never know with Saabs. They're just weird. They're like Scandinavian Citroens. That's what they're like. Anyway, see you next time. Cheers, guys.